Marc Raimondi for ESPN, back with you today with a guest, Belal Muhammad, of course, coming off a huge win last Saturday, UFC 280 in Abu Dhabi against Sean Brady. Got the finish. Belal, you're on, a tremendous winning streak right now. I want to talk to you about that. I want to talk to you about, what do you think is next? But first, I want to ask you about this fight with Sean Brady because you were already in a good position in the division. You were one of the top contenders. He was a guy on the rise, younger guy, prospect, trying to, go get on the come up in the welterweight division. And it's a dangerous matchup for you, was it not? Why did you even take that fight?
Yeah, it was one of those things, man. Like you said, I was on a good run. I felt like I deserved somebody above me. I just beat two top 5 guys in a row. I'm the only guy in the division fighting ranked guys. And I expected something big, but they said everybody was booked. They had Chimaev fighting Nate Diaz, which made no sense. And then supposedly it was supposed to be Gilbert and Masvidal. And then Kobe was nowhere to be found. So they just kept telling me, all we have is Sean Brady. All we have is Sean Brady. And I was like, there has to be somebody else. Like, why don't you give me Chimaev? That makes the most sense, especially if he's fighting Nate Diaz early. I doubt he'll get injured doing that. Oh no, we don't like that fight, blah, blah, blah. Like, they just kept pushing Sean Brady. And for me, it was the biggest thing was just getting on the Abu Dhabi card. I was like, I wanted to fight in Abu Dhabi. If I'm healthy, I want to be in the cage. So that was one of the reasons I took the fight. They called me and said, okay, we can put you on Abu Dhabi. I was like, oh, nice, against who? And they're like, Sean Brady. And I was like, you guys are trying to push this on me so hard. Whatever, let's go, let's do it. So, and for me, I think that I could beat anybody in the division. I think that I'm the best in the division. So if I have to go through this kid that's 15-0, they think they could beat me. It's only going to push me that much harder.
Fair enough. And you did a lot of your camp with Khabib Nurmagomedov's team with Islam Makhachev. Now I know, Belal, you're on this run and you've had a lot of success working with Valley Flow out in near your hometown Chicago and that group over there, Mike Valley, and of course your longtime coach Lewis Taylor. Why make that jump a little bit? I know you're still with those guys in Chicago area, but why go over to Dubai with Khabib's team? What was the story behind that?
Yeah, it was one of those things, man. Like you said, I was doing well for myself. I was on a long win streak. We were winning. We were doing all the right things, but I'm a guy that always looking for other ways to get better. I love to learn. I love to keep evolving because once you stop evolving, once you tell yourself that I'm comfortable where I'm at, that's when you start losing. That's when you start looking bad. That's when you start looking worse. I wanted to level up. And I talked with my manager. My manager's like, you should go down there early, train with Khabib. I've trained with their camp before. I've done a week with them before the Luque fight, and I loved it. And when Khabib invited me out there to train longer with them this time, I mean, you can't pass this opportunity. Like, he's a guy that I look up to. I consider him the GOAT, and to be able to learn from him and to train with the guys that are on the team, I couldn't say no because they had 4 guys that are on this card. And when you're in a training camp with the same guys all on the same fight card, it just makes the room that much go that much harder because they're cutting weight with you, they're training with you, they're pushing themselves with you. So I was like, you know what? I had so much time for this fight. We did a hard 5 weeks in Chicago to train for the Khabib camp, honestly, because you got to be in shape to train with those guys. Like, you can't just go in there thinking that off the couch, let me hop in with them, because they don't let you off the hook. Every round is a hard round. It doesn't matter who you're going with. There's no easy round. So I told myself I had to be in shape. And every single one of them has a tremendous grappling style, which I thought Sean Brady was going to bring to the table. So I was like, this is the perfect group for me.
What's it like having Khabib as your coach? Like, what are those training sessions like? I mean, is he, what is he like? I mean, I'm just curious, what kind of coach is he?
Honestly, it was amazing because, at first you're like, we're telling ourselves like, man, I fought on the same card as this guy. Like you said, him being a Muslim champion, it like made me like, we're maybe the same age, but I like looked up to him. So the fact that he's sitting there teaching me, pushing me, I'm like, dang, I got Khabib teaching me and coaching me. But also it's like, bro, this guy does not understand, tired. Like, we're going from sparring to grappling, and then he tells me, come on the cage, and he's putting me on the fence and taking me down at will and just like drowning me. and I'm like sitting there dead. And all of a sudden, at the end of it, they're like, "Well, okay, 3 minutes of like planks." And I'm sitting there dripping. I look to my right and I see Islam there, and he just like tells me Habib does not know tired, and I'm like, bro, because I'm a guy that I usually overwork. When I'm in Chicago, I'm like, all right, well, I did this practice. I need to go for a jog, or I need to do weights, or I need to do this, and that's what I was telling myself that I needed to do for when I got over there. So we're going a hard session. I'm thinking, oh, I could go jogging, but then after that first week, I'm like, bro, no, there needs to be some rest in between because the practices are so hard that my body would end up breaking down halfway through. One of the best things like I noticed from him is just seeing what he demands out of you. Like he demands like greatness from you. Like you watch all the shows of like I just watched the Dream Team and how they said that Kobe Bryant would go to the gym at 4 a.m. and it made the other guys work that much harder. Habib is the same way, where you want to do extra for him. You want to push yourself that much harder for him because he doesn't have to be there. He got all the money in the world. He got all the accolades in the world. He's been a champion. He's accomplished it all, but he's giving you his time, his knowledge, and like even we'll do warm ups, and he'll like tell us, "Yo, you guys aren't pushing hard enough. What are you guys doing? You gotta do it again." So we'll have to go again. We'll have to go again. We'll have to go again. So you have some guys that are like annoyed by it, but like I see it as, man, this guy really wants us to achieve our goals, and it was like amazing to see, and it was like forever grateful for him.
So Habib is like the Kobe Bryant of MMA.
Literally, yeah. Because there'll be some guys that will come in tired, and he'll take their phone from him at night. And like, you need to go to sleep on time. This, and this, and seeing it all, and then also like it was the brotherhood aspect of the whole thing too with the guys, because we're eating with each other. We're going when Habib has meet and greets, we're going with him to those meet and greets, and just seeing how he handles the fans and the superstardom, and he doesn't change in the practice room. He's still the same guy, down to earth, and chill. And then like even when I said, "Yo, can I bring my coach Mike Valley?" And obviously Louis Taylor was with me the whole time, but Mike Valley was gonna come down, and I said, "Can I bring a training partner, Jared Gordon?" "Oh yeah, yes, bring him." Like they just open the doors to them, and they just like everybody let them all in. Like we're all just like one big happy family. It was amazing.
And then you have the training camp, and obviously those guys and your team got you in great shape and prepared well. And then you have Habib in your corner. And I know you mentioned some stuff in the post fight. What is that like? What's he yelling at you? What's he saying?
Man, dude, he was telling me the whole time, and leading up to this fight, he's like, "You have to get a big finish. You have to get a big finish." In the training sessions, in the practice rooms, and then when we were at the arena, it was just like cool to see how like calm he was in the back, like laughing, making it like more. There wasn't a lot of stress in the back room with these guys. With their whole team was there. It wasn't like sometimes you see people that give off nervous energy. He didn't have none of that. The whole time he's telling me, "These people are here for you. All these people, this whole crowd is here for you. You got to put on the show for them. You got to put on the show for them." And then in between rounds, he's gonna break. I'm telling you right now, he's gonna break. Look at him. He's tired. That first round, beautiful first round, amazing first round. Our biggest thing, he's like, wrestlers love to win the first round. He's like, you cannot give him this first round. You cannot let him take you down this first round and hold you down, because that's what he's gonna love. He loves to be in first place. He loves to take the lead. So you got to put him on his back foot the whole time. Stand in front of him. You have to bully him. You have to be mean, and you have to stay in his face. And then like that's what he was telling me this whole camp. That's what he's telling me in the corner. And there's, like I said, there's some fighters that can't be coaches, and there's some coaches that can't be fighters, but he can do both so well, and he sees it all so well, and like he connected perfectly with my coaches too. So there was no ego or anything like, "Oh, you're talking too much," or "You're doing this too much," or where it has some other guys where you have coaches that are like, one guy would be screaming one thing, this guy would be screaming that thing. It was on point, and it was like perfect.
I actually wanted to ask you about that, the game plan against Brady, because it was so effective, right? You were pressuring him the whole way, and it didn't pay full dividends in the first round, but as the fight grew on, you were starting to land more. Is that what you guys wanted to do, and did it go exactly as planned?
Yeah, it went exactly as planned. Obviously, I'm training for wrestling the whole time, thinking that he would come out with some better wrestling. But training with Islam, training with the whole team over there, their wrestling is another level. Dagestani wrestling is different. So I've been through the trenches of it. So I was prepared for any sort of grappling exchanges. But yeah, our game plan was to be in his face. And he's so used to bullying guys, out muscling him. Everybody after his fight's all, he's the strongest guy in the world, blah, blah, blah. So I wanted to get in his face right away and let him know that you're not backing me down. You're not pushing me against the cage. And I wanted to make him pay for everything he was saying on Twitter, talking about you're running, you're doing this, you can't finish nobody, blah, blah. That was one of the things that motivated me more so. And I was like, I have to bully him. I have to show him what's real. What's the difference between me and everybody else you ever faced.
You get to finish. What is that feeling like? Because you've put together a great streak and you've beaten some really good guys, but this was the first finish of like a contender that you've had. It was a real signature win, right? What did that feel like?
It was amazing. Just that's something that's gonna be like every fighter wants that dream moment where you're in your hometown or you have a huge win in front of everybody. And that wasn't my hometown, but the crowd there, the energy there, they were all there for me. So to put on a show for them like that, to get a win like that, to have Khabib in my corner, like I said, somebody that I consider the GOAT and somebody that I look up to, a mentor, and to win like that in front of him, and to just like prove all the doubters and the haters wrong, and all the people that thought that Sean Brady was still going to beat me and I was the underdog. And for all I've talked to coaches in it too before the fight, like, why'd you take this fight? This is a bad fight, blah, blah, blah. You shouldn't have did it. You should have waited. You should have waited. I heard all of that. And it all just like kept pushing me and pushing me and pushing me for this moment right here. And it was not even like a sense of relief. It was just like, I told you so. I told you that how good I am. I told you what I could do, what I'm capable of. And it just felt great.
So now unbeaten in 9 straight. I mean, you're right there at the top of the welterweight division. What do you think is next, and what do you want next? I think you're probably going to say a title shot, but what do you want next?
Yeah, for me, I think it's either the title shot or Hamza. Like, I don't think there's anybody else that makes any sense. I'm not fighting down anymore. I think I earned it with this one to fight up. Obviously, the rematch is there for Usman and Leon, but I should be either the replacement for that one or, like I said, if Usman wants to take some more time off, you don't know how he's going to come back from that knockout. Sometimes you spar, sometimes you still see blurriness, blah, blah. But if not, I want to be on the same card and I want to be fighting Hamza. I know they're talking about him against Kobe, which doesn't make any sense. And I don't think Kobe's going to show up. Kobe, like I said, Kobe doesn't fight tough fights. He doesn't fight guys that have a chance of beating him. So even if they do make that fight, I do not think he's going to show up. I don't think he's going to make it to wherever that fight is. He could talk a big game, but actions speak louder than words, and he hasn't fought anybody that's been winning. I think somebody posted a stat that the last like 6 people he's fought have all been on 6 people he's beat have all been on 2-fight losing streaks. And when you're looking at it, I'm the only guy in the division that are fighting ranked guys. Even if you're looking at Hamza, all right, you beat Gilbert, but what other ranked guy have you fought? Your last fight, you missed weight by 9 pounds. So why are you still ranked above me? Why is Kobe ranked above me? He hasn't beaten anybody but lightweights and guys on losing streaks. I just beat 2 top 5 guys, and I just beat this 15-year-old kid that was number 8 in the world. And then I beat Maya before that, who was number 9 in the world. And I had the same amount of ranked wins in the division as Usman, but he was a champion. So why am I still ranked number 4? I should be number 2 easily.
It does seem like they're going to do Edwards Usman 3, the trilogy, of course, after Leon beat Kamaru back in August to take the title. So that'll be the title fight. And like you said, it seems like they want to do Chimaev against Covington. I know you want to fight Hamzat. Would you fight Colby? If they said, all right, Colby doesn't want the Hamzat fight, how about Colby, Belal?
I would take that fight in a heartbeat. Like, that would be, if I had to pick between both of them, I would fight Kobe. I've been wanting to fight Kobe for years. Just wanted to punch him in his face for forever. So if that ever happens, I would definitely take that one. But like I said, I just don't think he's going to do it. He's going to sit there and wait. And if maybe Poirier loses Chandler or something like that, or Poirier beats Chandler, he's going to try to call out one of those fights, a lightweight guy that has history with him or something like that. And then whatever's going to sell. But yeah, I just don't think he's going to accept a tough fight.
So it sounds like to you, like your ideal is, if it isn't the title, it's got to be one of those guys. It's got to be either a Chimaev, a Covington, or a backup for the Usman Edwards title fight. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, somebody with a cut in their name, like Kobe, Kamzat, Maru, anybody with a cut.
But not Leon. Leon doesn't have one of those.
I mean, if it happens, then yeah, for sure.
He did have a kick finish, a head kick finish of Usman, so maybe that's a little bit of a reach, but we'll give it to you, Belal. All right, man. I'll let you run. I know you had a rough travel back from the UAE, but congrats on the big win. There's got to be a very big fight coming for you next. There's no way around that, right? I mean, nine fights in a row, unbeaten in one of the best divisions in the UFC. There's got to be a reward at the end of this, right?
There has to be. Dana, please don't do your boy dirty.
Belal, congrats again. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And I don't know if you're driving, but please drive safe if you are.
All right, my brother. I'm good. Thank you, bro.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.